The story begins on November 12, 2015, with Jenny and her husband living a happy life. Jenny, known for her love of dogs, often fed the stray dogs in their neighborhood. One day, a neighbor mentioned a stray husky wandering around. Curious and worried, Jenny and her husband went out to find him. When they finally saw the dog, it was clear he needed help. The husky, who they later named Edward, was scared, especially of Jenny's husband. His fur was patchy, his ribs stuck out, and he had a big scar on his side. Even though Edward was in bad shape, the couple decided to take him in. They wanted to give him a better life and show him kindness. The first stop was the vet, where they found out Edward weighed less than 39 pounds, which is way too low for a male husky. He wasn't just underweight, his fur was in bad shape, and he had demodectic mange. Huskies have two coats, and his red, dry, and blotchy skin showed he'd been suffering for a long time. Luckily, he didn't have worms or fleas. The vet gave him antibiotics and special shampoos. After a thorough checkup, Edward was ready to start his new life. The journey to recovery and a happy home was about to begin. At their house, Jenny and her husband prepared a kennel for Edward. He entered it without difficulty, suggesting he had been house-trained before. They speculated that he had escaped from an abusive and neglectful owner, explaining his scar and fear of men. The first few nights were tough. Edward cried in his kennel and couldn't stop sleeping, likely from exhaustion. The couple noted he looked like he was resting for the first time. Edward slowly began to adjust to his new surroundings. He slept a lot initially, but eventually started to appreciate the little luxuries of his new life. His new owners discovered that treats were the only way to get him to look at the camera. As Edward became more comfortable, they decided to take him to a dog park for the first time, albeit with some trepidation. Would he react well to other dogs? To their relief, Edward was friendly and playful, a typical husky trait. This was a great sign of his adaptation and recovery. One day at the dog park, Edward fell into a pond and didn't realize it. His owner managed to capture a photo just before Edward shook off the water, getting her wet. This playful moment was a stark contrast to the scared, undernourished dog they had found weeks earlier. Edward's transformation was underway, and his new owners were thrilled to see his progress. Documenting his recovery, the couple took numerous photos of Edward at the dog park. It was heartwarming to see him enjoy life as a healthy, loved puppy. Edward, who once observed other dogs from a distance, was now one of them. He was relaxed, confident, and on the path to a full recovery. He played well with most dogs, although some were less friendly. Remarkably, Edward remained calm even when other dogs were aggressive, showing a resilience that hinted at his tough past on the streets. A significant milestone was meeting the in-laws' husky. Initially reserved, Edward eventually warmed up, indicating he was still dealing with past traumas. Over time, his fur began to fill in, changing from a light red to a darker coppery hue. Physically and emotionally, Edward was becoming a completely different dog. A month after his adoption, Edward was no longer the shy, timid dog he once was. He had gained some weight and developed a love for car rides, one of his favorite activities. Despite his exhaustion-driven napping habit, which initially worried his owners, they realized it was just part of his personality. Edward loved nothing more than a good nap, often exposing his belly, a sign of trust and happiness. As Edward's fur grew thicker and he regained his weight, he also developed a keen interest in watching people from the garden, barking protectively if they got too close. His owners noted that he loved sitting and observing the neighborhood, a behavior that showcased his comfortable new life. The couple frequently took Edward to the dog park, where he socialized and exercised. Edward even memorized the route, getting excited as they approached. His transformation was evident, from a hairless, fearful stray to a lively, healthy dog full of energy and curiosity. Over the months, Edward's mannerisms and appearance underwent a significant transformation. The couple, initially unsure of how well he would fit into their family, now couldn't imagine life without him. Edward had adapted perfectly, even feeling comfortable enough to break a few family rules, like sneaking food. His eyes, once filled with fear, now shone with happiness and trust. Edward's story is a testament to the power of love and care in rehabilitating even the most troubled dogs. From a suffering stray to a cherished family member, Edward's journey is a beautiful reminder of the transformative power of kindness. So, have you ever adopted a stray animal and witnessed their transformation? Share your stories in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming tales like this. Your support means so much to us. Until then, take care and thanks for watching.